Hey guys, welcome back to PristineZReads. Today I'm going to be doing something called a book tag. So a book tag is basically like a series of questions that somebody has made up, and the answers to the questions basically like books. So you pick a book that kind of answers the question. So I'm doing one of these for the very first time. This is not an original book tag. Somebody else came up with the idea. So I'll link to the original video in the description below. So the theme of this book tag, as you can tell by the thumbnail, is the stay-at-home book tag. So it's kind of like, because of quarantine and stuff. So there's some fun things on here. So yeah. First question, laying in bed, a book you would read in a day. Now, this is kind of a tricky one for me because it depends like what kind of day. Like most books I could read in a day if you let me. Like even like a 500-page book I could read in a day if it was like a weekend or something. I had nothing else to do, then I could read it in a day. So that would really easily, because that would be really easy for me. But I'll just pick one book that I know I have read in a day. The answer to that is The Silent Songbird by Melanie Dickerson. This one I just devoured. I ripped through it so fast. It's actually not even that big. So I just like read it so fast. I don't think it even took me one like entire day to read. It took me like one afternoon. But yeah, I ripped through this so fast. It was really good. And yeah, I just read it really fast. Moving on to the next question. So the next question is snacking, a guilty pleasure book. Now, I mean, I don't really have any like sort of guilty pleasure books. I have books that I read for fun, like I want to have a fun read. And the answer to that question, yes, it would have to be another one of Melanie Dickerson's books because they are pretty light, and I wouldn't go so far to call them fluffy, but they're definitely books that I read when I just need to like be happy. So this one is my all-time go-to, The Fairest Beauty by Melanie Dickerson, because it's just really like sweet. It's a romance, obviously, so therefore it is sweet, and I wouldn't say it's super light either. It's not like a super light read, but I read this one for pleasure, definitely. Next up, Netflix, a series that I want to start. I think that would probably be the True Colors series by Melody Carlson. That's in my church library. I've been eyeing it for a while, but I was currently working on another series. So since I want to start, it's pretty long. It's got like 10 books or more than 10 books in it. But hey, I like long series. So yeah, that's probably a series that I want to start like in the near future. Next up is The Deep Clean, which has been on my TBR, or that's an abbreviation for to be read, the list of books that I want to read. So The Deep Clean has been on my TBR for ages. Empire's End by Jerry B. Jenkins. That is the sequel to I, Saul. Now this book was amazing. Like I literally can't tell you how good it was. Yeah, I actually didn't know there was a sequel for a long while. I thought it was going to be called I, Paul, but then I did some research and figured out that the sequel is actually called Empire's End. So yeah, I have been wanting to read that for so long because like it ends on a cliffhanger. So yeah, I was pretty devastated. But the thing is, I live in Canada. The book is out of stock in Indigo, and you can order it from Amazon, but it ships from the US, and there's like a ton of customs and duties, and a separate shipping fee to pay for it. So I'm just like, yeah, I have to wait for that. Do some other digging and see if I can find it somewhere else. But yeah, that thing has been on my TBR for ages. You gotta read it. Okay, enough about that. Let's move on to the next question. So the next question is Animal Crossing, a book you bought recently because of hype. I do not go buying books like left and right like crazy because I don't make an infinite amount of money. I'm not even sure what the Animal Crossing is supposed to mean. I know it's like a game, Animal Crossing. But I don't know why it has to relate to hype. Things bought because of hype. Anyway, a book I bought because of hype. Well, let me see. I wouldn't say this is super recently. It was like in May or June. But I bought the series Keeper of Lost Cities by Shannon Messenger. I've got this entire box set here. So yeah, I bought that because like I have at least 4 friends who have all read it, and they were like super crazy about it. They're like to me, Pristine, you have to read this series. It's amazing. I can't even tell you how good it is. So I'm like, okay, must be good. So I bought it, and yes, I liked it a lot. I have reviewed all of those. You can see the link to the playlist of my reviews in the description below. So next is Productivity, a book you learned something from or had an impact on you. I would have to say it would have to be an all-time classic, The Chronicles of Narnia by C.S. Lewis. Now, that book is one of, like, I first read The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe verse when I was like 8 or 7, I think, and that's one of like the first kind of big books that I've read. We have this like enormous set, like it's a giant book but like it has all the Chronicles of Narnia books in it. So yeah, I read that when I was younger, like 7 or 8. Yes, I'm a precocious child, don't judge me. But yeah, that was one of like the books that kind of like really got me started into reading like really big books. So that had an impact on like my kind of reading journey. And yeah, okay, let's go into the next one. So the next one is Facetime, a book you were gifted. Okay, I'll have to say the book would be Tuesdays in the Castle by Jessica Day George. And this book I got from my great aunt and great uncle for my birthday a few years ago. It really isn't that recent, but that was one of the first books that came to mind when they said gifted. I got the book for my birthday, I think, along with that wasn't super good, but I liked Tuesdays in the Castle. It was kind of a fun little fantasy read that has like a bit of action and adventure kind of mingled in with it. So yeah, I enjoyed that. So technically that's like the last book question. The last one was supposed to be self-care, one thing you've done to take care of yourself. I'm like, this is kind of a really generic question because like I do lots of things to take care of myself. Like technically taking care of yourself is like brushing your teeth, you're keeping your teeth nice and clean. So that's a very broad topic. But yeah, I mean like I do lots of things to take care of myself. I get plenty of sleep, I eat nutritional food, I shower, I brush my hair, I brush my teeth, wash my face. I mean like all that stuff is like taking care of myself. So I mean it's kind of a very broad range there. Anyways, yeah, so that's the end of the questions. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This is my first time doing a tag. Let me know how you think I did. Yeah, so I got the inspiration for this tag when I watched a video by Troy Reads. He did a version of this tag and I thought it was really cool, so I went and watched the original version, which I have a link to in the description below. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching. Please make sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and hit that like button if you did like this video. Don't give any false likes. Again, thank you for watching, and I will see you guys next week. Bye!